Hey guys, I'll be with you here in just a second. Let me go ahead and let everybody file into the chat. Thank you very much. This is going to be a very impromptu run through what's going on here. Bear with me just 1 second. We'll have the normal radio silence and I'll be with you here directly. So hang tight. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. So, I'm sorry to everybody that I've been just kind of sporadic today. Let me just tell you bluntly, this has been one hell of a day from stem to stern. So I'll break down the events here and let you know why it is I seem to be in and out of the chat so much today. I'd like to take a couple minutes here and stay in good humor and thank everybody who's new to our chats, everybody who's new to FibbyCharts.com. Welcome, folks. You're coming at kind of a very special time, a very somber time here. I'm going to share. You'll get to know me. My name is Red Baron. I'm the guy that had the really crappy microphone on JSNIP. This is typically how I sound. I was working with a webcam, and we were just kind of F it, we'll do it live. So we just kind of hit the ground running, and so I apologize for the yelling in the soup can audio quality on JSNIP's thing, but we'll get through it in hopefully a little bit more professional manner. Now, as far as this is not going to be my official run through. I just want to kind of close up some loops here. I want to kind of help you guys because even though I do have my personal issues, and trust me, they are many right now today, I want to make sure you guys, I leave none of you guys twisted in the breeze. I mean, you are my first and foremost concern. I don't want to get busy with my personal life and have you guys go, but what happened to Baron? He disappeared, and so wouldn't do that to you guys. I've always said that, no crypto investor left behind, and I stand by that credo wholeheartedly. So you guys come first. You're my family. I'll take care of you. So, all right. So what's been going on with me today? Well, I woke up on the good side of bed, and then everything went straight to hell, and I fell on the floor. So pretty much, I have a new girlfriend. I have a new lady in my life. She's Ukrainian. She's a sweetheart. And so we were getting ready to go out for the first real date that we've ever had, because this is a fairly new relationship that I've got. And she was driving over to my house in her BMW in a rainstorm that we're having here locally, and she got T-boned by an uninsured driver. And this happened we're in the middle of an XLM play that I started here just prior to the JSNIP broadcast that happened last night. And so I had an open position on XLM, and we'll go ahead and we'll get into the details here. Let me tell the story, and then we'll get into the actual ramifications of this. And so she got T-boned, and she said, car's trashed. She walked around. She was fine. She sent me. She said, I'm so horrified. We were going to go out for dinner and stuff like that. She said, I'm not going to be able to make it. My car, she's crying in their car. Her BMW is her baby, So her BMW is all smashed to crap. And so I said, you want me to come and get you? She goes, no, my friend has got me. And so didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden I get a call from her sister, and she says, Mandy's in intensive care. And I'm like, oh shit, what the hell's going on now? So she's got a massive, and I do not mean minor, I mean massive concussion, brain swelling, and cracked vertebrae in her neck. Fifth and sixth vertebrae in her neck are cracked. This was a hard hit. This car is basically shaped like the letter C. It got hit so goddamn hard. And people who suffer injuries are usually pretty functional in the first couple of hours, so you can't judge a book by its cover. But the brain swelling and stuff like that, and so to relate this to what's going on here, I told everybody I'm exiting my position on XLM. Got out with some profit, so good on me for that. Didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I'm very cognizant of the fact that as I move, so do you. And I'm not saying because I did this, I want to make sure that I wasn't going to have a bunch of positions just go to hell if something moved. Well, look at this. Is intuition good or what? I mean, the force is strong with this one because this is where I got out right here. I told everybody, I said, I'm going to jet. And so I closed my position right here, and then it started to climb. I was packing my stuff to go over to the hospital and started to climb. Now, I had expected to go up and hit this. Like I said, we've been watching this, but I told you I've been in on this position since way down here, and I said that, I'm watching for a reversal. I was kind of forced into this position of having to get out because I didn't want to have this open, and so I gave everybody fair notice before I took position. I said, I'm going to get out. You guys can do what you want to do, and this has been our resistance. Excuse me. This has been our resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and she just ain't having it. She broke. She capitulated. So we'll get into this part of the story here in just a second. So pardon me here. So basically, she's non-functional. She's not able to communicate. I went over to the hospital after closing my position. They wouldn't let me in because I'm not family. You know how they know that. You guys know me. I date younger women. I'm old enough to be daddy, so I just said I'm daddy. Sometimes she calls me daddy. No, but anyway. So I just told her I was her dad. So I went in and saw her. She's not able to communicate. She's able to talk and stuff like that. She's able to move around and stuff like that. It's not like she's passed out, but she'll get through this. But this is not cool, guys. This is not cool. She doesn't have insurance. The guy that hit her, of course, he's perfectly fine. Walked it right off like a champ, and he doesn't have insurance. But the sad part is his 88 his 1988 Pontiac Grand Prix is no longer functional. So breaks my heart. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with today. So how's everybody else doing? So we're seeing XRP. So we're going to go over a few things. You guys that are new to the live stream, again, welcome. We're very glad. We've had a tremendous amount of you guys come in, join us from JSnip's live stream. We're here to do you a solid. We're going to take good care of you. So you're welcome to the family. We're glad to have you along with them. So Joe, if you're listening, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Can't wait to be with you again. Can't wait to probably do a little bit less caffeine infused download on your broadcast. I have a lot to talk about. I got a lot to talk about, very little time to do it. So pardon me, I'm a fast talker. So some people don't like my style, but you know what? To each his own. If you don't like what I got to sell, go buy somewhere else. That's what I got to say. All right. So I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'll tell you what, if you're a tea drinker, I'm a hell of a guy. So, all right. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on here. So we've got this right now. Now, what do I think is going to happen here? So let's go back to let's rewind the Wayback Machine and talk about what I said on JSnip4's livecast. One of the many things I talked about. I said that we have a window of opportunity, and Joe agreed with me that I think. Not only do I think, I feel, I really, really, really honestly do believe something. And I'm sorry that my crystal ball has not been in for its 100,000-mile tune-up. I don't know what it's going to be, but I have a feeling. And that's all I need. I am not going to be in the market come Monday or Tuesday. And so I have told you guys, back when I started telling you, I said we have a 3-day window. Well, right now, as I'm on live stream with you guys, we have about a 24-hour window before the event happens, before Monday rolls around, Tuesday rolls around. Something's going to happen, guys. I don't know what it is, but anybody who is cognizant of something beyond the nose on their face feels it. And there's something to that. And I've been feeling it for a while. Joe's feeling it. You know, a lot of the woo-woo people are feeling it. The financial people are feeling it. Something, you know, I can feel it coming in the air tonight, so to speak. You know, not to start pulling a J Snip and singing for you because you guys will all hang up on me. But the truth of the matter is, something's coming, and I don't want to be in the market finding out what it is, good, bad, or indifference. So I bucked a nice little respectable profit. Any train crash you can walk away from is a good one. Any car crash, to be ironic about that, any car crash you can walk away from is a good one, I guess. So that's really the overarching theme of the night. I had my own personal one. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. So you guys that are holding, they didn't jump off when I jumped off. Let me jump back and forth here a little bit. Let's go ahead and dive deep on this. This is XRP here. So this is XLM. Let me pull up all my charts for XLM so we can have a macro and a micro. All right. So this is really the one that we've been discussing. Let me zoom out on that. So I told you to let's get this one up out of here. Let's take that one out of there for right now. So I told you that I think we're in a broadening ascending wedge. Now, let's take a look at this. Have we broken theory yet? Right now, we haven't, guys. It's just the wedge is just getting bigger and angrier. You know if I'll tell you what. A lot of these things. Sometimes you guys have to kind of tolerate me. They're new. Sometimes when I talk, I kind of get these little visions and these little voices in my head, whatever. As I'm looking at this, guys, I'm still feeling like there's some wind left in the sails here. We're rolling out of red. So this is going positive. This is going positive. This is going positive. There is an extreme. Let's go ahead and invalidate this. And I'll go ahead and redraw that. As we look at this, we are operating inside of the broadening ascending wedge just fine. Thank you very much. I like to put lots of channels. I like to show a macro and a micro channel. So this red one, don't worry about the red one. The red one's irrelevant. We're still inside of the broader wedge right here. So we are literally at the bottom. So what does that tell you? It tells me that I think we might still have a game to play here. There might, don't give up hope yet on seeing a boost. Now, as the further we go down this, the bigger the broadening ascending wedge gets. So the mouth of this thing can get upwards of, probably up there in 32, 33 range. So let's see if we can find some validation so that we're not just pumping some hopium up your skirt here. Let's see if we can find some validation for that target. And let me go into some larger, that's the same chart. Let me go into some larger formations here, some multiple day charts, and see if I can find something for you here that will kind of put a little finer point on this. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 6 hour. Let's take a look at the 1 day, and I don't think we're going to get a lot out of the 1 week here. So, all right, so let's just start with the 1 week. I know there's a lot of confetti in here, but that's irrelevant. I just want to show you a few things here. So, zooming way out. We're going to start with the furthest narrative. We're going to go closer and closer and closer to define a narrative. Okay, so we're at the 1 week right now, looking at this. So what we're looking at right here is this green line under red line under blue. Now this is what we call the Snapdragon. This is a moving index that is darn good. I mean, if you start looking at all the indicators on my charts, the first one you always should be looking at is the Snapdragon, which is this one. Anytime green is under red under blue and curling up like this, you want your green to be above your red. If it's not, that means we're going down. If it's and we've already gone down, you can see that. But see, we're on the mend here. So we had a crossover right here, right at this particular point in time, and we're starting to come back up again. And that's good. That is bullish. We like that. So the next thing we do is we go down to the DMI, which is the moving index. Somebody asked earlier, what does DMI stand for? Actually, that's the Anubis DM. That's part of the Anubis program, digital moving index. Okay. Basically what this is this is just are there more buyers or more sellers kind of thing. Really doesn't matter. You don't have to understand what it means. I try to make these things as understandable to the common Joe lunch bucket guy as possible. You just want to be able to hit it, look at it, understand what it means, and move on. You don't want to have to sit down with your pie chart and your graph paper and try to figure out what the hell is going on. I like quickie decisions, so that's what we got in the DMI. Anytime green is under red, not good. If green is starting to cross red, that's good. That's what you want. So what we have here is we have the green is starting to go towards red, starting to pass red. So we have bullish here, bullish here. Now, of course, you guys know what a MACD is, and we like to refer to it as rolling red, rolling green. You know, when we're rolling out of one out of one color, red is bad, green is good. We are coming out of a multi-week red pattern, lightening up. We are rolling green. That means predominantly we are heading towards the bullish. Okay, we have hit number 1, hit number 2, hit number 3. So let's go ahead and take a look down at the RSI. RSI, if we zoom in on this, we have consensus here. Blue above red, that's good. The more blue above red, the better. And blue and red are spreading apart. So we've got good, 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 good. Excellent. All right, now what we're looking for primarily here, and this again, we're discussing a 1-week chart. A lot of this is going to change for the 1 minute or for the 15 minute, for the hour, 1 hour, but broadly speaking, over the course of some time. This is not going to be today, tomorrow, or next week. You know, we could go through a crash and then pop back up. That's what I'm saying. So broadly speaking, the trend week over week is what we're discussing on this chart. Now, the next thing I want you to pay attention to is this thing called the Bollinger Bubble. We call it the Bollinger Bubble. Now, when you see a compression, when it gets really ultra tight like this, that means it's coiling up like a snake. The tighter that band gets, the more it's going to pop out and explode out of that, and it's going to flare up. Now, if all your other things are showing bullish and you're compressed and possibly hitting a pulse marker on the ISIS charts, then what you're going to see is you're going to see a pop to the upside. If all the indicators are indicating down, the Bollinger Band is starting to expand. No question about it. I can tell you with my eyes closed. We're going down, kids. And so what we're seeing here is we haven't quite, expanded, but we are starting to open up. And that's not near as dramatic of a compression, but it doesn't need to be. You know, we had a compression here, it opened up, and you can see, let's go back to the last compression. So we were coming out of compression. Look how we were rolling green here. We just shot up right here. And we actually, just to kind of give you real numbers, we shot up 1,244% over that period of time. Not too shabby. Now, this is again on the week, so don't be impressed. You know, that took a long, long time to do that, months and months to do that. However, so again, the overall narrative on this, on the week, is positive. Okay? Good, good, good. So let's go ahead and see if we can get some consensus down on the next level. So the next level down is our 6 hour. Is the day. So the day, we are again, first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the green over red over blue, spreading. We like to see it when it spreads. We have a couple different formations with the Snapdragon. So when you start to see formations that are, I'm going to use all green here. When you see formations like that, that means that the ends, we're watching right at the ends. If they start to curl together, that means they're about ready to cross, obviously. When you see, you know, kind of neutral or something like that, you know, it could go either way. Now, what we really like to see is we like to see these formations that are starting to flare apart. That's what we call the dragon's mouth is opening, or the wings are spreading, or however you want to look at that. We are in fact seeing that, meaning that we are not out of this formation. In fact, we're just now starting to gain ground. Now we have a pretty good stretch of green here. If I were to compress this a little bit, some of you guys go back and watch my 45-minute video where I talk about camel humps. I'm not going to belabor that, but it's basically pinned in every single one of my rooms. Excuse me just a second, guys. My throat's driving me nuts here. I've been talking a lot today. Speaking of that, I lost my voice on JSnip's thing. I've never had that happen before. That was kind of spooky. So hopefully that won't happen to me again. So on the 1 day here, we are looking positive. The Bollinger Band is coming out of a compression, starting to open up. So on the 1 day, we've got good. One point I was just about to make here before I shut my mic off is we're coming out of a very long double session, 1 hump, 2 hump, of MACD green. So, you know, you don't get too much green before you get red. That's kind of a questionable, you know, the more green you have, the more the odds become that you're going to go roll red, even if it's only for like one tiny little blip and you're back to green, or, you know, it happens that way. But when you see a lot of green or a lot of red, what comes after that? The opposite. So there's that. So you have to take that in consensus. However, let's go and take a look at the DMI here. We are above, which means we've already moved above. We've flattened out. We're kind of plateauing. Not horribly bullish. You know, the best you can hope for is to maintain ground. So we've got a long stretch here where you know, we're already up. You can't go much more up when you're up. So that's kind of the best way to put that. And again, we're on the 1 day. So let me zoom in here. I'm sorry, this damn trade view always gives me what I don't want. Here we go. Okay. So we are already on the RSI, already above purple. Anytime you get above the purple, and you know, the blue is still, if we zoom in on this a little bit, it's still kind of above, but we are starting to be oversold here for a little bit longer. So not liking our odds on the 1 day for holding ground, which means basically don't expect a moonshot out of this arrangement here, because it's just not, it's not stacked in the deck, it's not baked in the cake. It's not going to happen on the 1 day. The most you can hope for is maybe a little pump up to the red and some sideways motion, and then we're going to finally start changing direction and going into a plateau or whatever. So not really feeling it on the 1 day. So let's go down to the next level. 6 hour. So 6 hour, looking strong, the first blush. And again, if we're looking for that quickie little pound it, pocket it, and get in, get out of the market, I'm paying attention from everything 6 hour and down. You know, it's all nice to get the weekly consensus. Why did I just bring up the weekly consensus to have that discussion? If we're talking about getting in and getting out, because we have to allow ourselves the position that what if I screw up and make a bad call? What is the overall forecast? So let me take this down to street level for you here. Let me bring the chart over here for just a second. What happens if we're buying right here? And we're thinking, okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab this up here, but it doesn't happen. And it just, from here, tanks and goes straight in the crapper. Not a good day. Not a good day. So all we've got to look at is we've got to go back and look and see what is in the cards for 3, 4, 5 decks of cards ahead. Are we statistically possibly going to pull this out of the dumper in a couple of weeks? So in other words, do I have to panic sell and take a big old fat red L on my forehead? No, you don't have to. The 1 week is telling you right now it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So you got that in your hip pocket as a consideration. Okay, I want you to be aware of what my strategies are. That's kind of why I'm sharing that with you. Okay, so again, we're looking for the 6 hour and down. We're looking at the 6 hour, we're looking at the 1 hour, we're looking at the 15 minute. We're making a decision with those 3 charts. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So with the 6 hour, we've got the alligator, Snapdragon is spreading. That's good. That means that we are looking very bullish on this indicator here. Now here's a very good example. See, here's the compression. See the Bollinger Bubble, how it's starting to spread? You know, the party's just getting started. So good indicator, good indicator. What does this mean? How much velocity can we get? We'll get into that here in just a second. How much higher could we possibly go? We'll discuss that here in just a second. That's when you plug TA. A lot of you guys are new to my charts, heard me use this term TA. You don't understand what I mean. It stands for technical analysis. Basically, it's when I'm making those arrows and those lines and these charts and stuff like that, making these graphs and these channels that you see like this blue box. TA is shorthand for technical analysis, so I don't mean to leave any of you guys confused by my terminology. So if you got a question, certainly pop it up in the chat there. Zacharino will answer, Spirit Bear will answer, Logical Domain will answer. We've got a good group of people who are here to help you. So the only stupid question you can ask is the one that you don't ask, okay? So I want to make sure you guys understand what it is you're doing, because stupid money goes away very, very quickly, all right? So we're all about education here on this channel. All right. So as far as this goes, the DMI is starting to kind of kink down a little bit, and that doesn't necessarily mean because you see a bend that this is going to go down. So we have to kind of consider that we look like we're rolling down on the DMI a little bit. But let's go over to the MACD and let's take a look at the MACD. MACD is probably, if I'm being honest, probably one of my top 3 favorite. I like the Dragon, I like the Bollinger Band, and I immediately go to the MACD. If I have to have 3 indicators that I probably trust and use the most within this, I probably do that, and then I back it with TA. And if I only have 3 to play with, those are the 3 that I want to use. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we have more. We have a nice spread on the indicator as part of the MACD. So the MACD is part of this, but also there's a blue-red component to that. Blue is looking it's spreading away, meaning we've still got some range to run. We've still got some leash to play on with this. So we can go a little bit further easily. All right. So again, we are just now starting to, let's zoom in on that a little bit here. So blue is under red. That's our first indicator that looks like it's kind of truly going down. So this one's looking a lot more bearish than this is. So we got 1 nay, 1 yay, 1 nay, 1 yay. So we're right now at a 50-50 vote on this. The thing that the hook I kind of hang my hat on right now is I'm watching this right here, because nothing's going to tell you what's coming next faster than this right here. And when you see this thing start to wilt, and curl around the edges, it's time to yank the ripcord and jump out of the plane. And so I think we got a little bit more mileage on this one here. So again, like I said, this is a position where I bought in at, actually right here. This green arrow should be over on that other chart. So we'll go ahead and I'll set this aside because I think I'm probably gonna make a few more points on this one here. So let's go ahead and take her down to the 1 hour. See what we get at the 1 hour. All right, so here you go. We've already seen it. So when I say wilt, you know what I'm talking about. That's wilting. See, it's starting to curl around the edges. It's like a leaf drying up, or a piece of lettuce drying up. We're losing strength. And you can see that, very honestly, we're starting to drop right here. We did drop. All right, now let's zoom out a little bit and see how does that affect our narrative. What does the TA, the technical analysis, tell us should have happened? Now, if you guys remember that live stream, I was hitting you with a lot of facts, giving you a lot of wisdom. One of the things I told you is just because our TA says it should do something, don't think it's going to do it. You know, never trust TA emphatically because they know what we know and they use it against us. And you'll see this over and over and over. And you're probably likely to see it happen here in this case because they know if our TA, if I spent 3-4 hours watching videos on YouTube and learned how to predict what a cup and handle does, then I'm all of a sudden got a master's degree in trading, or at least I think I do. I go out and start trading and like, okay, well, I'm looking at a cup and handle and here's the depth and it should go this far from this point to this point. I'm going to take it, I'm going to put this up here, and that means I'm going to do my sell right here and I'm going to be rich. And then the exchanges know you're doing it. You know why they know you're doing it? Because they're the ones that made this formation. This is not an accident, guys. You ever ask yourself, why is Bitcoin making a cup and handle formation when XRP is doing it, when Matic is doing it, when Doge is doing it? They're all doing it. Oh, that's completely by choice and by accident, right? Nothing to see here, folks. I mean, come on. And the conspiracy and the manipulation is absolutely epic with this. A lot of you guys don't understand, and I meant to get into this, but I just was kind of choking myself back a little bit. I didn't want to flood you guys too much on the live stream the other night. A lot of people don't really stop and realize, where does this data originate from? It comes from one big computer owned by they. The people that manipulate this stuff, are the sole brokers of everything. There is one master computer above Kraken, above Coinbase, above, KuCoin, above Binance, whatever. One master computer. And here's another little tip for you kids. All of these coins are on that damn computer. All of them. And so why do you think we get a cup and handle on XLM, on XRP, on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on Doge, on Shiba, all at the same time? Because it's the same computer writing the narrative. So want to kind of make you guys hip to that. It's not that you can do anything about it, but forewarned is forearmed. Now, again, back to this. They look at us and they say, okay, well, let's show these guys a cup and handle on the 1 hour and get all of our know-it-all technical guys to make a move, get them to take a position, and let's run it up 50% of what they think it's going to do. And then let's whip the goddamn rug out from underneath them. So let me show you exactly this point that I made on JSNIP's broadcast the other night. I told you, this is a classical TA move. This is a move that by the book, by all points concerned, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and apparently doesn't look like it's going to. Cup and handle. So this is your bull right here from the base to the rim. Right there is that move. I'm just kind of approximating there. Okay, so this is the move that absolutely classic textbook by the book should play out. No problem. If this was a fair world. All right, so what you do is you take that move and you stick it on top of the rim, which is like right there, right at the edge. Okay, and of course we've got ISIS here. We've got these bronze lines, so we've got an even better system to help us pick out where to put these things when the system works like it's supposed, or when the markets move, like when they play fair with us, is what I'm trying to say. So this is the move that should have happened. This thing should have ticked off the box right at 33 cents and some change, 0.331. Should have hit it without question. Should have hit it. But here's the interesting part that I want to show you. And if I could, let me get this one out of here because I don't think that's going to pan out. So here's the interesting thing that happened. I told you guys that on the live stream that generally speaking, what the exchanges will do is run it to 50%, and then they'll reverse the direction. Let me show you a hypothetical line right through 50%. Look at that arrow right there. 50%. Just like I said. Just like I said last night. This is a classic example, what I'm telling you. They're using this TA against us, guys. You know, I mean, it's one thing to go to stand in a crowd and say, it's manipulated, it's manipulated. Oh, you're just saying that because you suck at TA. No, I'm not saying it because I suck at TA. I'm saying it because I've been tracking this stuff for over a year, and I've proved it. I've shown it. I've demonstrated it. My guys that are with me, have been with me from the start, know that I have been watching this, and I've been telling and teaching this stuff all along. You must know this stuff, or otherwise you're going to lose a ton of money. So hang with me, guys. You know, when I make these predictions, I want you guys to always understand these basic concepts. What a J-hook is, what a 50% run is, all these things that are unique to our channel and our live stream, because it's not... Yeah, 50% is the new 100, brother. You ain't lying, because I'm telling you, this is getting to be sickening. I mean, it's getting to be more rule more often than the exception. So there you go. There you go. Now, where do we go from here? I'm not feeling good. I'm not about it going up any higher, because that was the move right there. I don't want to go back and belabor how they sucker you, because I've covered this several times. Covered it on Snip's live stream. You know, they get you to commit, get you to go in, then they reverse it and get you to panic sell. They get your money again. They get you to pick up a new position, and on and on and on again. That's what happens. So it's just damned infuriating. But you are looking at case in point right here in black and green, as it were. And so, hate to be the bearer of bad news. Sometimes you don't like the medicine, but Daddy's going to give it to you, whether you like to have it or not. I'm going to give it to you. That's what cryptotherapy is all about, right, guys? So, anyway, where are we going to go from this? Let's go ahead and see if we can kind of finish this out. Now, having said this, I don't want to say I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I want you to understand this is a real concept. This just happened. Okay. Now, where are we going to go from here? Could they drop this down, reboot, change the game again? Oh, believe me, they will change the game again. Reboot, change the game again, and continue on. We have seen that as well. So we have to go back to what we think is going to happen, plug it into the narrative. Now, remember, from this point right now, when I'm live casting, to about this point tomorrow night, that's when the window closes, as I see it. Sunday is going to be a crazy freaking day, as far as I'm concerned. Most guys know around this group what Sundays usually bring about. I wouldn't have my money in this market right now. Absolutely not. I'm not suggesting the crash is going to happen. I mean, we might get just another hopium blast, just to absolutely peel your skull cap back. But I'm not going to be joining in it, because as Joe said and I said, we don't know when the black swan's going to come. But I'm telling you right now. We have to have it. We do. And I made a very good case for this for several months. I talked about the popsicle thing on Joe's broadcast. I talked about it on my broadcast. You know, not everybody has a seat at the table yet. They haven't got their cards, or they haven't got their tokens, and they're not ready to play the game. The they I'm referring to is the bankers. So distribution has not been had to all the powers that be. This is not over. Cannot be over. Is not over. Okay, so this is all just sucker play for suckers, and I'm not a sucker. I'm not going to be out here holding a bag and having them dump on me. Now, I do want to show you the good side of this, the potential of this. If you want to be a risk taker, God bless you. And I want to show you, what could happen from this point forward. All right, so let's hopefully, did I answer everybody's question on this? I'm making sure I really compact an awful lot of information in here, because I feel like I'm trying to play catch up from earlier today. I'm out of sorts here. I'm thinking about my girl as I'm talking, so pardon me if I kind of drift a little bit. So you'll understand where my heart is right now. Okay, so all right. Yeah, Bo, whatever you want to think about Bo, let's just add him to the conversation, because I know a lot of you guys know who he is. He's just one of many. That it's a triangulation of woo-woo people, biblical people like Bo. Whether you like Bo or whether you don't, let's not even bring that into the conversation. The man's got some skill. You couldn't do what he's done. You couldn't make the calls. I can't make the calls that he's made. We miss him from time to time. I miss him from time to time. He misses him from time to time. Whatever you think of the man, I mean, he's got some solid work, and I respect it greatly. And I'll leave it at that. I don't come down on either side of pro or con against him, but I respect his work, and I see validity in a lot of his calls. I really do. And this one, it happens to triangulate with a lot of banker people. It happens to triangulate with what I'm saying, what he says. It's coming. Something's coming. We all don't know what it is, but we know something. The question is you want to be in the market or out of the market? That's the only question you can ask yourself. How do you feel? Do you feel pro or you feel con? Well, again, I don't feel good about it because there's a crash coming. I'm not suggesting that this is going to be the week. Seems a little too convenient. I expect it to happen here probably the next 2-3 weeks from now. But and again, cliff high. Also, I mean, there's a man, tremendously respectable. Think what you want to think about him, but we got to bring him into the conversation too. So, too many people who know some shit coming at this that are starting to come to a very, very universal consensus or very fine consensus between the group of us that those are numbers I wouldn't want to bet against. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I'm out of XLM. Will not retake a position. I'm good. All right. I had my doubts about maybe I want to go ahead and fire it up one more time. Let me show you what theory says. Good technical theory says, and it might play out. So if I miss the train, so be it. I'll miss the train. It's too risky, too rich for my blood. Let me go ahead and show you. So now that I've established this is a company handle. This is what should happen, but it didn't. We have a drop, which is not a major drop. I don't want you to give you guys the impression that this couldn't turn around and go back up. But the indicators, this is a 4% drop. Not huge, but we shouldn't be seeing that. And when we start to see these indicators rolling over as sharply as this, I don't like your odds. See, now we're red on the RSI. I don't like your odds. This is not a bullish behavior right here. What we're seeing here is not bullish. So wash your hands of the possibility that that's going to turn around short because it just ain't going to happen. Lockdown. Yeah, we'll talk about that, Chase. Do I think we'll get the second lockdown? Okay, so that and again, I'm sorry I multi-track. I just kind of have to. There's just, one thing leads to another. I apologize if you guys it's kind of hard to follow my stuff here sometimes because there's just so much to say in such a compressed amount of time. The lockdown announcement is going to play into this. It just is. This is probably what's going to trigger some freaking out. And I said this on Joe's, I'll talk about Matic here in a little bit. I talked about this on Joe's broadcast. We didn't want to get into world politics. But my group, my advisor group that I alluded to, that I'm a part of, it's made up of remote viewers, made up of channelers, made up of bankers, made up of very powerful people and little old yours truly. We're all of the universal mindset that this weekend is going to be something. We all come at this from a different angle. But here's the thing that we have. Some of you guys that are old schoolers or are fairly not recent joiners, the guys that are in the group will attest to this. When I get a gut feeling, you might want to listen to it. I said to the group that my mastermind group that I'm part of, we sat down, we study the internals or the mental well-being or the mental functions of these people that are in high level of Washington, and we got the consensus that we thought that Uncle Joe had himself a speech in the can already wrote and ready to drop on us. And I let everybody know this in the various gold, platinum, diamond, I believe. And my mods here will back me on this. Flemish, I know, will back me on this. I told everybody 24 hours before it became even rumor that it might be a broadcast or might be a announcement coming. Did I not, Flemish? I told everybody it's in the can, it's done. They're going to drop us on us. And that's when I started talking about this 3-day window. I think in answer to your question, Chase, I think that's what's going to trigger this, because I'm telling you, and I kind of went on about this on Joe's broadcast. If everybody hears that there's a lockdown coming, everybody's going to go in to grab the toilet paper mode again. It's going to be shit show 2.0. Absolutely. It's kind of funny if I want to kind of jump off the main topic here for a second. So I did manage to go out. I said I was going to go out to steak with my girl. Chase and I went out to Chase is my son. He's the guy that owns and runs Fibby Charts. I'm just the personality that kind of keeps the glue of the group together. But anyway, we went out to steak. We went out to Outback Steakhouse, and I was looking around. Man, it's just packed for Saturday. Now, you'd never know that we had any kind of that issue going on. You wouldn't know, because 2-hour wait at every single place we went. Texas Roadhouse, Outback, Johnny's Steakhouse, everything just packed, waiting in line everywhere. I thought, wow, it really looks like we're all worried about dying. And there's that. So right now we're all going about our life thinking that, hey, whatever. But then Uncle Joe is going to get at his podium and he's going to switch up the game on us. So all these folks that think that it's great, it's tremendously burdening to be able to sit in a group of people and look around and realize none of these folks ever just have an idea of what's coming, but you do. You do. I know all you guys are woke in the right kind of way. So especially you guys in Australia, God bless you, man. I'm really watching you guys an awful lot. You're kind of on the vanguard of what's going on. So my heart's with you, man. I love and respect every single one of my Kiwis that's in my group. We got quite a bit of them. So back about three topics ago here. It's coming. It's coming. So what's coming? It could be that speech. My personal belief, and I want to tell you what I think, what my group thinks, is I think they're going to drop that on us the last part of summer. Last part of summer is what we call Labor Day here in America, and that's at the end of this month. And they'll probably do it the Friday before the holiday or the Monday. They'll probably let us have a nice Monday, and then they'll just screw us up. So be expecting him to take the stage. But I will tell you that my group and several other people now are starting to. I have a Washington insider that's part of our group. We're going to have a talk with him. We're going to listen to what he has to tell us. So we'll look forward to that as part of our VIP chats. So you guys that are, not to get commercial on you here, you guys that are not in gold level or platinum level or on up from there, if you really want to have the best of what it is I have to offer, what the best that FibiCharts has to offer, there is so much above your silver and your bronze subscription. There's hidden rooms, there's Doge rooms, there's XRP rooms, there's chat rooms, there's all kinds of stuff that we do in gold and up. So if you guys like a lot of new silver subscribers, a lot of new bronze guys, love to have you, and glad to see that you're starting to get a taste of what we do. But when you're ready to level up, let me tell you, we have even more to show you at gold and up. So anyway, back to this. So gold, I told everybody in gold that I thought this was going to happen. Everybody gold and up that this was going to happen. And I expect that it's probably going to pop end of this month. And but what's happening here probably Monday or Tuesday, I don't know. I sincerely don't believe they might leak it out in 2 stages. Possibly it could be this. He might come out and just give us a talking to here in the next couple of days. Say, okay, well, you got X number of days to get to enjoy yourself, and then we're going to go ahead and we're gonna put you in the box and throw away the key. Come effectively after the holidays. That could be the way it plays. I mean, it's all speculative. We don't know. But that therein lies the great conundrum. We don't know. None of us know. But I'm telling you right now that I do not feel good about anything in the next 30 days for the markets, for money, for banks, for crypto, for none of it. So circling back to the beginning of our discussion, I don't want to be in the market unless I see black swan. And I mean deep, dark, 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 dark swan. I want my bargains. I want my 70-80% drops. I want market crashing, flame throwing, kids screaming in the street, people, panicking. That's what I want. I'll be out with both barrels buying it up, But until then, I've had my fun in the market. I'm done. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's finish this. I'll get back to it, and I'll wander off the path here a couple more times. I'm sure. I just want to make sure I give you guys the full download. So let's talk about what could have, should have, might still happen. Again, we got 24 hours till my theoretical hell freezing over. Now, we have not violated this broadening ascending wedge yet. We're bouncing off the bottom, in fact. Now, if I'm looking only at this chart, which is a 15-minute chart, a lot can happen in 15 minutes. It can go up, but then again, it can turn and take it all back from you in 15 minutes. So that's why you got to go uphill and look at the 6 hour and the 1 day. You want to get the general consensus. The broad consensus, as we said, is it's bullish, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be bullish from here till there. I mean, there could be a lot of down between the up overall. Now, what we could see is that 32, 33 cent thing. I'm not ruling out the possibility. The odds, I can't give you odds. I just can't, because there's just too many variables, too many human elements to this. Like I said, as for me and my house, we're out of this. So what we could do, let me just kind of give you a hypothetical. We could go from there to, I'm probably calling that as about a ceiling. We've got an awful lot. We could shoot up another 6%. Now, if you wanted to, let me just go ahead and play this from off the street. If you came in right now to this discussion, didn't know anything that was going on right now, you said, well, listen, I like what this guy's saying. Sounds like we got another tap at the bucket here. We might possibly be able to jump in on this. I would never, even on a good day downhill with the wind at my back, ever throw money at a trade that will only bring in 5.75%. That sucks. And you guys that know what I'm into, I don't really generally like to get out of bed for anything less than 15% return on my money, minimum. And I won't get into the reason why. It has to do with costs of doing business and taxes and whatever. But realistically, if you're getting a 15% net, what you think is net gross profit, it really isn't. It's more like about 10%. And, 10%, is that great? Well, by stock markets, but not by crypto. 10% is bleh at best. So 15% is when you start, you don't really raise my eyebrow until you start to go above 15%. So back to this point, would I jump in now for the chance of grabbing this at the top, which at the tippy top, I don't think we're going to hit, is only 9%. Realistically, it's probably closer to here, which is about, at best, generously, 6%. Not worth it, because by the time you shave off 5% buy fee, sell fee, and whatever, what are you left with? 1% profit? Are you going to risk your money for 1% profit? I'm damn sure not gonna. I work hard for my money. I ain't gonna give it away for 1% profit risk. No way. So this is not a attractive trade for me at this juncture. Now back here, had I stayed in the market, had I not been psyched out by this little car accident thing, and just had to do what I had to do. Money's money, but love is another thing. Love trumps all. I can always make more money. I can't always get myself a cute little girlfriend. So, this is all good for me. I'm not going to talk percentages and stuff like that. But, I was doing well down here. I got out. I walked away from the train wreck. So good for me. And if you guys are in profit right now, not going to hand you financial information, but you could read between the lines. You know what I'm saying. Okay. If you're in profit, you never go broke taking a profit. I have been preaching this quite a bit lately, quite a bit. All right. So this is possible, but I don't think it's probable. Now, if you understand the technicals of a broadening ascending wedge, let's talk about the reality of what, again, should happen with a broadening ascending wedge. A broadening ascending wedge, by its very nature, is something that should break down. Well, we kind of look like we might head that direction. So let's go ahead and let's get real with this. So if we're looking at a broadening ascending wedge, and we're going to assume it's a breakdown, let's just go ahead and put the TA hat on, and let's really, I'm going to make that red here. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and plug in TA to. I'll tell you what, TradingView ever wants to cooperate with me, I would really love it. You guys like TA, how they changed recently? They've made some changes now. When you want to do photo shoots, they used to be able to right-click this, and then there's a little thing right here. Now they moved it all over here, and I just hate it because it's slow as molasses trying to get photos to post now when I want to do chart stuff. Okay, so anyway, this is the TA move from armpit to flag. This is an inverted flagpole. So what you're looking at, technically speaking, I hate to overuse that word too much, but you're looking at basically a bull flag right there. Okay, I'll go ahead and thicken that up so you can see what's up with that. All right, you're basically looking at an upside down bull flag, or you're looking at a bear flag. Sorry, you're looking at a bear flag. Now, the flagpole being right from here to here, basically what you do, classical TA says, is you take the length of the flagpole, which is right here, shorten that up a little bit, and you just move it to the tip of the flag. So we'll get the flag out of the way, and we'll take that, and we'll stick it at the tip of the flag. What do you know about that? From the tip of the flag, it hits my channel bottom. So what do you think is going to happen, guys? So likely, with high degree of probability, we got a micro move from here to here. And here's another thing to throw in is, remember how we've talked recently? Some of you guys have probably seen in the chats. We always talk about this baby blue line here. It's called the 200 EMA. Talked about this on Joe's live stream. I said, if you wander too far away from that, my rule, not a hardcore rule, but the guys that have been following me for a long time know that I'm not wrong too often. This is proved out a lot. My general rule of thumb is I don't like to wander further than 15% away from that baby blue line for very long. Because if we get into these things and you can do it, if we get into like a bull shot or a moon shot where we're running away from that thing 20, 25, 30, 35, it's just a matter of time before we reverse direction on a pulse marker and slam back down to the thing, because we never really venture plus or minus too far away from the baby blue line, which is a 200 EMA, more than 15% for very long. Now, we are well inside of that, but I'm seeing this, so I'm making an issue. So that's just another little fun little indicator. When you're watching everything else and you're trying to hedge your bets, take a look at the 200 EMA and see where we are. Are we above it? Are we below it? By how much? Are we too far? Are we outside of 15? Like, for example, if we're way down here and you're questioning, if the 200 EMA is here, we're way down here, like 20%, 22% under this, and you're looking at this asking yourself, well, I don't know if I trust all these other indicators, but could I possibly buy this with the idea that if I hold it long enough, it'll go up? And you're sitting there 20, 25% away from the 200 EMA. That's money, baby. Sooner or later, she's going to come calling, and you're going to go, cha-ching. It's going to happen. It just works that way. That's why they call it a moving average. You've got to go back to baseline means sooner or later. So that's great. It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code. So that's a really good thing to do. So anyway, I like the idea that we're touching off on this. We're checking it home. Here we go. We go away from it. We come back to it. Go under it. We always check back. Like I was joking the other night. They say you can't go home again, but you can if you're crypto. You always go back home. Mama's calling. It's time to go back home. Look at this. Again and again and again and again. So it's believable. It's playable. It's usable. So use it. All right, so assuming that I want no part of this future cup and handle thing that could play out on that promises to play out on this other deal, because I'm just not seeing it. On the short term, I'm seeing everything everything's starting to curl and starting to see. There's your green going under red. We're rolling red. We're just down. Bollinger Bands are starting to expand in the downward thing. Alligator Dragon is open to the downside. Green under red under blue. There's nothing about this that paints a rosy bullish position. So don't put your money in this and don't bet on it, because it isn't going to happen. Now we could go formation to formation to formation and just keep dropping. So as a play, this one is done. So if you guys are in profit, do the right thing. I'm not going to make suggestions. Just listen to what I just told you for the last 15 minutes. Do the right thing. Book it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. So XRP is really, really rocking here. So I told you guys on live stream, and you know what? I'll tell you what. Joe, if you're listening, dude, you got to do something about your trolls, man. I'm telling you what, it's you're running a troll farm over there, brother. You got to get yourself some good mods. I'd like to donate a few of my very high quality gold, platinum, standard mods to your cause, because you've got some really wicked trolls over there that they're not spending any money with you. They're just there to fuck up your program, and it hurts your brand. So don't let those guys go over there and chase off your good people. So offers there if you want to use some. And some of my mods have come to me and said next time you talk to Joe, offer our services. So if you want some guys to help you out with mods, they would be delighted to do that. But anyway, I was kind of reading through a few of the comments, and I suck, according to. It's not the first time I've been told that. According to some of the people in the chats who don't know me from Adam, but. I'm waiting to post some of the Doge calls, which we're going to cover here in just a second. Some of the things that I forecasted, that I told you was going to come to pass, have indeed come to pass. And I screenshotted, so I'm collecting them. So I'm going to wander back into the chat, and I'm going to go, what about this, and this, and this? Oh, and what about this? And then we're going to hear crickets, and those guys aren't going to say anything. There's nothing like a good I told you so. Nothing. Not a thing on this planet better than a good I told you so. So anyway, well, that's just me having fun. But so ISIS did not get any indication of a 50% price. But ISIS doesn't do that. Anubis does. So ISIS. So to clear up, you guys, what don't be too hung up on the names. Basically, ISIS generates these lines that go up and down, side to side. What she does is she's a statistical probability calculator. What she does is she looks at the highs and the lows and figures, where can we put the next one? Where can possibly, with the highest degree of accuracy, where should the next line be? And so again, as I've said this many, many times, these are not Fibonacci lines. They are automated intelligence lines that sometimes coincide with the green Fibonacci lines, like this one, for example. The green lines, I'm probably going to change the color from green to white or something like that so they stand out a little bit more. But the bronze lines are ISIS. The green lines are true Fibonacci retracement lines. Sometimes you get a little bit of coinciding going on right here. And those are the great ones because those are the ones that are really magnetic. I mean, when we got a move going to the up or to the down, if you see a double confirmation, that's usually the move that's going to tap, is that, because you've got two different systems in universal agreement. They always seem to be spread just a little bit. I've never been able to figure that out. But in short answer, basically, what I'm saying is this: ISIS is not a forecaster of price. It's a statistical probability generator of direction and height and depth. Anubis is the one that does that, and you guys are not on that level of subscription that I have. I do this for some very high level people, and they kind of technology filters down, so sometimes when I'm talking, I'm sharing with stuff. I'm not coming right out and telling you it's Anubis that's giving these broadcasts, but it's something I'm shaking down, and I haven't gathered enough data to really roll this thing out as an official deal, but it is built into the charts, and you are seeing references from it right now. So when a lot of these things, like for example, we are talking Reef as being $3.36 in the next 36 to 48 months. That's Anubis making that call. And believe in it wholly. It will happen. It will happen. Anybody taking a look at Reef lately? Have you taken a look at Reef lately? It's crazy. It's going to get crazier. So stuff like that. And so just so you know, so don't be too hung up on the names or whatever. I mean, that stuff's designed to work behind the green curtain. So just let it do its thing. Just understand that there's a lot of technology behind the curtain here. All you need to know is how to use the stuff that you can see. All right, so not to get too far away. So yeah, tulip time. I saw your reference there. You ain't joking, man. So this green box here, by the way. So sorry, I'm getting on the right screen here. So this green box right here represents that 2 days. I want to be, and I am now. I want to be completely out of the market. So we've got from where we're at now to right here. We've basically got 1 day, 3 hours, 45 minutes until my time, Chicago time, until that happens. So what's going to happen here? Are we going to have further pumpage and then we're going to hit this and drop? Or are we just going to drop right now and go into this and drop even further? We don't know. But here we are. Every time we cross one of these fib circles, we get something pretty wicked. We cross it, we go up. We cross it, we go up. We cross it, we go up. We're ready to cross another one. Now what happens? Could we pump up again? Yeah, certainly, because we never played this out yet. We got close. We got real close. But the only thing that cancels, only thing that works when you get close is hand grenades. We got real close. This is where Anubis said. This is where ISIS said. So these are two different programs. So I'm not going to revise that. But we did hit the ISIS mark, and that's because we banged up on the inside of this. Now we could come across that and go up. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to chase the 2 or 3% profit that we're looking at here. And this is XRP we're talking about, not XLM. I'm done swing trading at this point in time. I want to sit this out. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, just as the old saying goes. And I'm just not in the market. So hang on just a second. Let me get another chart here. I want to have a little bit tighter look at. So we had a good run, by the way, right after the live stream, after Joe's live stream. So those calls did, in fact, come out. I told on live stream, I said basically, I think we're going to hit about 82, and lo and behold, we hit 82 and a little change. So there you go. And this is. I did a little swing trade right here. I jumped in right here, and so on that particular issue, I did 12.6. Still not fabulous, but in this market right now, dead money sitting there doing nothing isn't getting you any glory either. So it's kind of a decision you got to make for yourself. Sometimes you got to sit, and sometimes you got to play. So I just wanted to do a little bit lead by example. So there you go. Fear and greed index. I don't really have I would just be bullshitting. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a good legitimate thing. I noticed that it was very, very greedy right now. Last I looked this morning. Good luck with that. I think you guys all know what that really truly means. Be fearful when everybody's greedy and be greedy when everybody's fearful. Yeah, I bet the opposite of that. You generally tend to, it's a joke, but it's to the greater part actually true. And as you're looking at everything I'm showing you right now, and they're saying it's greedy, that's not bolstering the case for anything bullish as far as I'm concerned. If everybody thinks it's going bullish, I'm going to have no part of that. Thank you very much. Yeah, psychological warfare, Phil. Brother, how long have you been with us? You have no idea. No idea. So you guys have been part of the last July roundtable. I screwed up a lot of people on that last live stream talking about what's coming here in the next 90 days. So I hope you guys have fallen back and taken a breath and recaptured a little bit of reality from what I dropped on you on the July broadcast. And you can still, if you guys have not done that, you can go to VeChain and you can get in on that for $195 and listen in on what I have to say about that. It's a hell of a broadcast, though. I really dumped it out there for you guys. We've got another one coming up here this week, hopefully. A lot of this stuff has happened. We're going to be doing the August one here shortly, where we're going to be talking about something that's a little funner about what to do with your money after you make it and before you make it. So this is going to be a little bit more financial based, but we will drag some world issues into it and stuff, as I'm prone to do. I never stay on one topic because that would be boring. There's nothing sexy in talking about just one thing. You got to have 5 conversations at once. This is how I'm hooked up. So yeah, it's just a leading indicator, but it's a good one. You should look at it. I mean, it's just another little thing to help you do your job, Solar cell phone charger, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Yeah, we'd love to have you join. And by the way, Phil, if you haven't joined us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our Discord. You guys that are new, they're just, actually, I forget I'm on live stream. I'm not on VIP. So you guys are just listening to me talk. My name is Red Baron. I'm from VeChain. I'm actually from the unfairadvantage.chat. I use charts from VeCharts.com, which is live stream AI embedded that has all the ISIS and Anubis and all the special sauce and all the really unique tools that I use are found on the charts that you can subscribe to at VeCharts.com. If you want to do that, just go to VeCharts.com, go to subscribe. If you want to know what's in the packages, by the way, I'll just cover this. I know how people hate when I get on a commercial break, but you got to do what you got to do. So these are the things that come with the different packages. Generally speaking, just if I could be very candid with you guys, if you're at all serious about trading, don't be a cheap ass. You really want to have the best tools available. Gold is really, if you guys are working with anything over $10,000 a month, or anything over $10,000 in crypto, minimum, you should be in gold. Emphatically, I'll tell you that. And the reason why is because of this right here. You get Gold Chat. And Gold Chat is where I do VIP videos, I do inside stuff that I don't do for free. I do an insane amount of free stuff. But, I get the guys whining, where are you at? I want my free video. Well, pony up, buddy. This stuff takes time to produce. So jump in. You can join us at the unfairadvantage.chat for free, and you do get an awful lot of free stuff. We do give a few free calls out quite a few times. But if you really want to be deeply embedded, get the specific room for XRP, specific room for the dog coins, get VIP videos where basically not daily, but about 2-3 times a week. When something's really moving, I'm talking to my VIPs beforehand. So these are the coins that I track and trace and chart in VIP. Gold. However, this is the one that everybody eventually goes from gold goes to this. You get gold and you get a higher level of chat where I get a little bit more specific, a lot more specific about the things, and you get 3 times the amount of coins. Everybody eventually gravitates towards platinum. Platinum is really to come in off the street. If you have about 10,000 and not much more, gold is a good place to start. If you're very aggressive, or if you have over $25,000 worth of crypto, don't waste your time in this. This is where you truly need to be. You need to have options. And with options, you get, all these different coins. You get different levels of chat. You get a lot more access to me. You get a lot more of my insight, my VIP videos, et cetera, and stuff like that. So cheap insurance, and definitely, it's well worth it. As anyone in the chat will tell you that's been a part of Platinum, especially this week. It's been a hell of a place to be, hasn't it, guys? All right. So let's get back to this. So, and again, most of the time when you're watching me use Platinum Pro, which is a new thing. I won't get into that tonight. But the basic Platinum charts is this one right here. And this is what you see. When you get in it, you see all the coins are tracked and traced and stuff like that. And all these coins are all part of the Platinum. And we also do some metals, and there's a few key stocks and stuff like that. So I spoke about Reef here just briefly. I want to kind of see what's kind of in my mind here real quick. Reef is off to the races. So here again, we have that cup and handle. It went up 50% and just leveled off. Where should it have gone? It should have hit that green dotted line, but it didn't. So again, there's the same formation, not living up to the promise. What's going on here? We might have manipulation at play here, you think? I do, because that's basically what's going on here, is they get everybody suckered in, get them to commit, don't take it all the way to the promised land, turn the car around, go the other direction, get you freaking out, you dump your bags, thank you for your contribution to the Coinbase Foundation. Again and again, or the Kraken Foundation, or whatever, again and again and again. That's how the game is played. All right, so Reef again is still an attractive price. A penny and a quarter, or a penny and 3/4. Damn attractive price, especially since we're seeing this thing in the future, in the not too far flung future, hitting $3.36. I mean, you could do worse. But if just to say this candidly, not as advice, of course, if you just can't handle the daily gyrations, and you got to get you something, so at least you have some peace of mind, you got a little bite on this market, I'm not going to fault you for jumping right now at Reef, not at all, because the upside is so radically high. I mean, if you really think about it, if it goes from where it's at right now to just 3.5 cents, you've doubled your money. You don't need much of a move on Reef in order to come around, patting yourself on the back and feeling good. You would never get. Let's compare this, and I'll move on to the predictions here, or to the actual coins. If you look at Reef and you jump in at, let's say 2 cents. Let's say this goes to 2 cents today, and you jump in at Reef, and Reef goes from 2 cents to 4 cents. You just doubled your money, man. Do you think Bitcoin's going to go from where it is, wherever it is right now, to double anytime soon? Would you risk it? Would you be willing to risk it to see that? What do you think the odds are? The odds, and I like to play odds and I like to play statistics, I would be all in on Reef before I would ever even look sideways at Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or any of the top 20 coins. Reef will smoke it on return. It doesn't have to go to $3.36 to make an obscene amount of money. That's just how the game is played. That's why we buy these smaller coins. All right. So along with that, I'm going to have to give some public props, because I love you, Tiny Tank. I'm going to go ahead and give you another little prop here, because you've been proselytizing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So Tiny Tank is one of our platinum subscribers who's been the sole voice in the woods. It's been going Shiba, Shiba, and we're all ignoring her. Just keep talking. Shiba, Shiba, Shiba. So she said Shiba, but Shiba's going up. So I'm going to own up to this, because, when I fuck up, I'm just going to just straight up tell you. I'm not going to try and mask this and tell you I'm brilliant. I'm going to show you what happened, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened and why it happened. Okay, so in my defense, the best defense that I can give is I wasn't watching it, because honestly, I'm not a Shiba fan. And I think I have established a firm foundation of saying that multiple times. I am not a fan. Not saying it's a shitcoin. It's priced like a shitcoin. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. Now, when we were clear back here, in my defense, we've got an opening move right here. We have to have a closed move. Here we go. So at the time, I would say, okay, well, the market was down. Here we go. This is where she should go. And if I do dare say so myself, it was an exceptionally brilliant call. And then I promptly ignored it. I didn't touch it after that. So let me go back one more time. So this is your opening move, and we talked about opening and closing moves on Joe's broadcast, and I've done that several times on this. So there's your opening and closing move. I put it down here. I said, we should probably go down here, and it matched the current ISIS lines and stuff like that. And then I just never really updated the chart that much. And to be very honest, I only really update this when Tiny Tank starts talking about this. I'll throw a look at it. I'll throw a channel on it, whatever. I was not making any kind of forecasts or anything like that. Now, having said that, and made myself as insured against criticism as I possibly can be, I was wrong. Okay, but I wasn't that wrong. So let me show you the miracle of manipulation. This is gonna make some eyebrows go. Now, one thing I will steadfastly, emphatically stick to is I was right about one thing, and that's called velocity. This distance right here, this amount of move had to happen. There's your opening move. Where's your closing move? Well, let me show you where your closing move is. It is right in the pit of that, to that first move. Boom, boom, right there. There she is, black and white. See that? Perfect match from there to there, and she dropped. That was the move that happened 180 degrees the wrong direction. Now, what am I saying by saying that? I'm saying that the markets knew there needed to be a downturn. The markets changed the direction, flipped the script, and they took, this is the way computers do things. They must open a move, they must close a move. And so what they did is they took that velocity, which is the distance of this arrow, and just ran it 180 degrees the opposite direction. This is not random. This is planned by them. We cannot look deep into the mind of the machine and ever, possibly ever, see this recent pump that we have. We have to play the statistical probabilities, use the TA, try to read some sense into it, try to inject a little bit of what's going on. So that's as close as I can get to calling that a win. I was right in the velocity. It does me no good from a portfolio standpoint, but that's what I'm trying to show you is this. There is some real science to what I do, and you're seeing it right here. From pit to point, from point to move, right there. That was it. Now again, it dropped down, became a bull flag, the TA kicked in. So if you take that and you move from there to there, there it is again. Perfect move right there. Dropped it again, and then she's off to the races. This is when they let go of it. Now, you guys have heard me say this over and over and over again. Sometimes they'll manipulate it. Sometimes they'll let the public drive the thing. This is computer. This is computer. I think I've established that case. Okay. They dumped it here. They let the public take it, and the public went woo-wee, and they took it, and she ran. And then they reeled it in, and they dropped it. End of sentence, kids. That's exactly the way this played out. I'm not making any defenses against. That's why I don't put my money in it, is because I don't trust it. But to her credit, she called it. She said it was coming. Fine, it's coming. So I guess in that way, if you were in, fabulous. Hope you took your money and got out. So now again, this one thing I will tell you is we're coming up on one of my pulse markers here. We are starting to look a little wilty right there. We're losing steam. We're rolling red. We're under. She's coming down. She's coming down. It's going to give back some of this profit. So hopefully if you're in profit, grab it off the table and run giggle into the bank right now, because I don't see this thing going up higher in holding ground. If it does go up a little higher, I don't like your odds for it holding currently by what I'm seeing. Okay, just to kind of not put too fine a point on it. Now let's go to my dog coin, and I'm going to show you how right I am. When I am right, when I give a damn, when I'm tracking. I gotta redeem my self-respect. So let me show you what I did over at my dog coin. My dog's better than your dog. Get you some of this. So I called it right here, and I got myself 36%. Called every single one of these marks. We hit it right there, and top of box, and level, and peak, and ISIS mark. Boom, 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 all the way. That's when I announced the buy-in was right here at this point, and from that point, I did sell at the top of that box. 36 point and some change. 36 points, or 36% right there. That's how you do it. And by the way, guys, Crypto Rich was with me on the ride on this, and we both dumped. So good on you, Rich. Rich now is at. I'm looking at him in the chat. Can I go ahead and tell him? Can I tell him? He's in my Discord chat here. Rich, if you're listening to me, can I go ahead and disclose this, or you want to kind of put a can on this from this point forward? All right. So he's at $15.9 million. $15.9 million. He just 50%ed his money because he put a little leverage on this. Is how he's able to do that. So he's gone from, in this trade, he's gone from $10.5 million to $15 million. So this is this number 20, Rich? Is this the 20th one? I'm sorry, guys. I'm carrying on two chats. I've got one in Discord here while I'm on. Is this your 20th or your 19th or your 20th trade? Your 20th? Yeah. There you go. There you go. So this is 20 perfect Doge trades from a guy that didn't even know what the hell crypto was. Good on you, brother. Knock it off. Your odds. I don't like your odds. You can't keep doing this. This is insanity. So stop. So there you go, guys. So I think we're going to close the legend of Crypto Rich, and he's going to start investing like a normal person because he has no reason to. At $15 million Doge trades, I think it's time to pull the plug on this and put it into some more stable investments after the drop. So there you go. So he and I have come to the consensus that I'm not going to support his Doge habit anymore. It's time to get out, unless and until. It drops. I got out. He got out. We booked a 36% profit. Well, he did it with leverage, so I can't disclose what he did there. But he did considerably better than I did. But good. So this is what this thing is able to do. If you're following the charts, if you guys are with me, I'm putting my buy arrows, my calls and stuff. I haven't been doing an awful lot of calls lately because it's just been a shitty market. But we're things are pumping now. Was this the bottom? I don't think I want to categorize this as the bottom. It's just the bottom local. I mean, I don't think anyone can doubt that things are starting to go right now. So the question, I hate you, Rich. I don't think anyone can doubt that there's money to be made here. I don't get the feeling that this is, they're not going to give us a bottom this easy. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to be that easy. Okay, this is the bottom. We're going to start making money. Everybody just pile in and start throwing money, and we're just going to make money hand over fist. No. This is going to come down again. You know it. So be careful. So right now, my advice, if I do give advice, my general advice, not specific, is this. Don't chase anything like this. My God, don't get in on this. I don't believe this is going any further for now. If it does, I certainly wouldn't want to chase it. This is played out, so we're done. Stick a fork in her. She's done. So going on to Reef, let's go back to Reef again. We've had a good run on that. I mean, look at that? That's a good run. I mean, I'm not jumping in on that. So what we're looking for, we're fishing for, is we're looking for things. I'm going to talk about Theta because I have a feeling a lot of Theta people are in this group tonight. We're looking for things that haven't had their turn in line. So this is kind of like popcorn. I love my analogies, guys. If you're new to my live stream, you always hear I'm always talking about popsicles or popcorn or just some goofy non-related thing, but I try to make it make sense. So it's kind of like popcorn. You make the old school popcorn. Some kernels heat up a little faster, and I'll do Zill for you. I haven't done Zill for a long time. Some kernels pop faster. It's kind of the way it's working right now. You look over and there's Doge, and then there's something else. It's taken off, and so these kernels are popping one by one by one. So let me circle back here. Ones that's on my mind right now is this one and this one. So Matic, I'm not going to call this a call, but it seems rather funny to me that we're not seeing. Again, there's the cup and the handle, but we didn't get anything. I mean, we didn't even, I guess you could kind of call that a 50% move. I wouldn't go all out on that and say that's a call, but that doesn't seem like that went far enough. So I'm just kind of calling your attention. I'm not suggesting you dive in on this. Matic is a very strong call, but we want to buy it right. Because we look at this, we just barely got out of this channel. We just really, you got a double bottom there. Theory suggests, and here's your TA, here's your, we should have gone to at least to here, probably to the bottom of that box, 50%. And we did go to 50%, but just something about that doesn't feel right. But I don't think I would chase this one. I just wanted to show you this by what should have played out, but what didn't. So anyway, let's get back to Populous and see if that did anything. So again, we didn't necessarily get. I would not call anything that looks like that. That's more of a W formation. We'll talk about W formations at some other juncture in time. I don't want to front load you with too much stuff. But classically speaking, or just basically objectively speaking, let me get some cotton candy out of the way here. There we go. Just objectively looking at this, I'm not seeing anything that is participating now. This is a not yet call. I did tell you guys I see $8 for Theta. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm brilliantly making a call because we all know it's going to go there, and I own up to that. Is it going to go? The real question everybody wants to know, is it going to go up or is it going to go down from here? You guys that are new to my system, when I show you gray, these are not good odds. These are not good odds. I'm showing you what should happen. I'm not suggesting you follow this call. Yellow is better. Green is very good. Purple is technical explanation only. Do not play. So sometimes you'll see purple. Sometimes you'll see gray, which could happen, but I'm not feeling good about it, which might morph to yellow. I do change the colors of these yellows or these arrows as I get to feeling better. So a purple will go to a gray will go to a yellow might go to a red or green depending upon the direction. So right now I'm very grayish on this, not necessarily feeling this, just showing you what it should do. It has not had its turn in line. As we get closer to the 1 day close of window, we're either going to do this move up to this first call or this first potential or not. I'd have to pull, I don't have my charts for 1 day, one week and stuff like that on this, but as I'm looking at it in the here and the now, let's go ahead and take a look. I don't see my Bollinger Band. Yeah, let's see let's zoom in on the Bollinger Band and the alligator and see what's going on. Okay, so currently we are right on an ISIS line here. We are starting to go positive. The alligator's starting to come up under. We are starting to go positive. We are starting to roll green. We are starting to get towards the. We're starting to sell. Excuse me. We are starting to sell here. These are all bullish indicators, or leaning towards bullish indicators. Bollinger Band is spreading from a not very compressed compression, for a not very tight compression. So. Check. All engines are revved up. So how high do we go? We can only fall back on TA. That's how we get our velocity to plug into the grid. It's not going to be a first time move. It's very spectacular. We have to look for those opening moves. What haven't we closed yet? Well, that's where we got this. We had this big bad boy. I'm going to leave that in place here. I don't want to get into that discussion right now. Okay, so. This is our opening move. And I know this doesn't, generally I like to see them when they're straight up, but this is an opening move. Now, let me get this dialed in. Okay, so this distance has to be closed by virtue of either going into a BART, closing it up, something like that, or topping it and going up. Now, if I'm gonna have to move this over from where we're at now to where we're at. So it is possible, I'm gonna move this over here to kind of keep it in line with everything. Okay, so here's the two probabilities if we go bullish on this. It is possible we could get a run. This wasn't a straight hard moonshot. This was a slow creep to the top. Doesn't mean that this can't be a moonshot, but it is possible and probable that we can see Theta be a late bloomer before the 24 hours. And I'm not suggesting 24 hours is the drop dead time, but let's work with what we've got here for information. I'm not suggesting that we can't go into the middle of Monday and still have a bullish behavior, because it is, that's why they do these things so randomly, just to kind of catch you with your pants down. So that being understood, this could just be a late to the game. It may not have its turn in line to pop yet. We've seen XRP pop, we've seen XLM pop, but what about this? It hasn't done anything. We've had sideways, what people like to call accumulation. I don't refer to this as accumulation. I refer to it as just stagnant lack of trading. So what we've got is this sideways action. It's a sleeper. Sleepers wake up running, is what we like to say. Now, the run could be potentially 15. I will get out of bed and put my feet on the floor for 15. This is not a bad deal. So let's talk about this trade. Let's talk about how we feel about the current environment for Theta. Theta's looking good. Does anybody think Theta is going to go down, stay down on one knee, and never get back up? I don't think anybody in this group would think that. So we're looking at $6.8866. So got to ask yourself, do you feel lucky? Do you feel lucky? So this is where you become. This is where trader mentality takes over. We have to take all of this stuff that I've been telling you, the 24-hour window, the black swan crash, the pending turn in line, the positives, the negatives, and everything in between. And we have to go, what of that feels right there, right in the gut? What of this in the next here and now, 24 hours, can I decipher from this? Trust your gut. Trust your gut. I want to teach you guys how to do this. I mean, I'm good at this, but I can, you can learn this stuff. I didn't learn it overnight. But so if you're in Theta, great. Don't get out. I mean, this is not one you probably want to swing trade, as I said on Snip's thing, and he's in agreement. I mean, if you're in on this, if you want to swing trade, do that with T-Fuel. This is not, you want to get a position good and hold tight. Now, to finish my thought here, if you wanted to say, okay, well, maybe we're just not going to go up, or maybe we're just not going to go down ever again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump on this, because right now the 15-minute says that this should be going up. Does that mean here? Does it mean here? Does it mean here? Well, the TA suggests that we are going to go up 15 point some percent. That's all we got. That's it. we can't play with any other toys. Those are the only indicators and guesses we got, other than basic, whatever, just gut feeling. So all that. And now we could go, we have another move that's a bigger, broader move that might take us up 20 to 22%. Now, I want to tell you guys that are fairly new subscribers, some of my ones that are maybe about 1 month, 2 month old, or subscribers that haven't been with me for a long time. I have in my chat right now guys who know my track record going back a year or whatever. This has been, and I'm not being apologetic, I'm simply just spitting facts at you here. This has not been a market that has been generous to anybody. I don't care what your level of technical ability is. And we're not seeing what is typical for the market and for what this system can put out. There are many people in this group who can testify that on the daily, sometimes 4 and 5 times a day, I was pulling 30, 35, 40, 65% gains in one day. That's when things are good. And I was nailing the crap out of them. I mean, I was hitting them, calling them, and the guys that are in this group that have been around, they will testify to that. Now, I'm telling you this to tell you that, or tell you that to tell you this. This is a good move. This is a generous move currently. 22%. I don't even like to deal with anything. I will do a 15, but generally, I'm spoiled. I'm absolutely spoiled. If I can't get 20%, whatever, I'll get something else. That's the way it was about 5-6 months ago. I mean, I couldn't touch a chart that I wasn't pulling 20 and 25% on these calls. And that's how much this market has changed a little bit. So we're eking out. We're just grinding out the rent money right now, doing the noble work. If you remember. and it sucks, and there's no glory in it. But we're going to get to a point, as I said on the broadcast last night, where it's impossible to fail. We're going to be so far down that the only thing is up. So I'm looking forward to it, but we're not there yet. So we're still not at the bottom. So right now we're just looking for these modest to semi-appreciable gains. I don't get greedy. I'm not chasing 20% gains right now because I just don't believe that these exchanges are going to let me have that without some drama. They're going to say, hey, look at this juicy 20 over here. Why don't you get you some of that? Okay, I'll grab this. And they run it to 10%, and I got my back turned, and they flip it and they drop it. And what happened here while I was out having steak? What happened here while I was in the hospital with my girlfriend? Blah, blah, blah. That's what happens. And you saw it happen tonight with XLM. So thank God I got out of that position. And so, just because you see it doesn't mean it's going to play out. Okay, I circle back a lot to make these points very, very clear because I don't want anybody doing anything stupid. So yeah, Zach will tell you, 30% was normal. I mean, God, we were a spoiled bunch, weren't we? We will get back to that and then some. I mean, I've made the case and shown you guys that I see no reason why any of you guys who buy, when the time is correct, and I know it's hard to wait, when some of you guys buy correctly on some of these calls, I'm going to be presenting you. I mean, if you're not pulling 300, 400, 6, 7, 8, 1,000% profits, I'm disappointed in you because we're going to be down to those levels where that's going to be impossible not to pull off. And I'm not suggesting you have to have thousands of dollars to do it either, because we're going to be so far down in the market when, not if, when the black swan or the big one hits us, it's going to be impossible to fail if you buy at the bottom because you got nothing to do but go up from there. So looking forward to that. So in the meantime, we're watching this. So back to Theta. So where am I at with Theta? So just to kind of take a breath and reiterate myself here. I would look at this if I were fresh on the market, had no Theta. Let's take it from a guy that had no Theta. If I had no Theta, and I'm looking at this kind of going, we might get a crash, whatever, maybe. It's on you to decide now. I think it's pretty well known that the people who are watching and studying this firmly believe, and I'm in this group, firmly believe Theta is going to be 2,500 to 3,500 in the next 4 or 5 years. Not that far away, as much as 60 months from now. You think you can keep your britches on long enough to get a $3,500 return on a $6.89 buy? So if you think you can, then don't be listening to me. Get over there and buy some. Not advice, of course, but currently looking at this on the micro scale, I do believe that this is last in line. I think we're going to see some sort of pop. And this, for me, is purely academic because I wouldn't buy it anyway at this point in time. I do own no Theta. I want to, but I got my eggs in the XLM XRP basket because as I see this, I don't want to get into the complex math, but it's going to far outpace every other thing. So, okay, fine. Theta's $25 now. But my XRP is like, how God only knows what it is. I'll peel off some of that and buy in at 25 and ride the rest of the ride. Don't think that you're trying to hold Theta down at $2 while XRP does 30,000. That's just unrealistic, guys. It's not going to work that way. You have to understand the spreads. That's what we're talking about. You have to understand the spreads of which pony is going to cross the finish line fastest, holding the most bags. Take that, cash it out. Buy a slower pony, ride that to the finish line. Sell it. Buy another pony, ride that to the finish line. So let me give you a hypothetical. Very hypothetical. Let's assume you got 3 coins that you like. All 3 are going to go up. Let's take XRP, let's take Theta, let's take Digibyte. Okay, fine. So we're in agreement and we think all of these are going to go up, but we just don't know when. Well, I used to own a considerable amount of Digibyte and I just basically got sick and tired of staring at it and I got rid of it. And it's gone up a little bit, but not enough to really crush my soul. So let's say XRP goes up to a very high. I peel off some profits. I throw it over on Theta. Theta has a run. Digibyte's behind it a little bit, but still not outstripping on a percentage basis. Outstripping Theta. Theta gets to a certain point. I peel off some profits. I throw it in on Digibyte. Now I'm spread across. This is the kind of concepts we're going to discuss in the next crypto roundtable that's coming up this week. So I'm just kind of giving you a preview on some of this stuff. How to manipulate or how to allocate your money is going to be one of the discussions. And so I'm kind of giving you a little bit of a preview. But if XRP is going to go up high and it's going to be the fast high flyer, then we put our eggs on that one and we ride it as high as we can until Theta mathematically doesn't make sense for us anymore, and then it starts to make sense for us. We peel off, we buy Theta, we ride the ride, and we enjoy the spread. And when it starts to get a little bit long in the tooth or stall or something like that, we throw that over to coin number 3 or some other Johnny-come-lately shit coin that we believe in, like Shiba or something like that. So that's the way the game's played by the big boys. So you have to understand that this is all going to go up and down together, but some's going to go up a hell of a lot more than others, and you gotta pick those ponies wisely. So I always constantly put in the mind, he's changed his ID. He used to be called Mr. Pablo, but I always kind of call him Pablo. I will always know him as Pablo. I think he goes by Knowledge Seeker now on our Discord. But Pablo, I believe he was holding Matic, and it went way up. And he said, should I be selling? And I said, well, have you ever gone broke taking a profit? And he sold it. And shortly after that, it plummeted. And he goes, whoa, my God, thank God I did that. Yeah, you can't go broke taking a profit. So what did I tell him as part 2 of that? I said, well, go put it in something else. And that's exactly what he did, as I understand the story, as I remember the story. He peeled off profits from Matic, and I believe he was very, very profitable. I think he was, I might be telling tales out of school, but I'm going to recall he told me he was 300% or 500% up. I may be wrong on that, but nonetheless, he was doing very, very well. So he took his profits and he put it over into a new one. And, that story may have played out yet or may not have, I don't know. But that's the correct thing to do. Take your profits, peel the seeds off the grown tree, plant new seeds. To kind of put another analogy to it. You harvest old trees to grow new ones. Simple as that. All right, so let's go on to some other stuff here. So never know what you're going to get when I do a live stream. So again, thank you guys. So I have to kind of take a commercial break. So you guys that are new to live stream, I know a lot of people drift in the middle of my live stream. So my name is Red Baron. I am from the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free Discord. And you guys are welcome to join us. There's no charge to be in there. We give free calls and we do a lot of what I do, and I talk an awful lot about what's going on. However, if you'd like to subscribe to the charts that you're looking at that are powered by AI, powered by ISIS and Anubis, our automated intelligence bots that predict the future. It's our digital desktop crystal ball is what we like to call it. Lovingly referred to as the magic chicken bones. That's what my group calls it. So you can do that over at FibbyCharts.com. You can subscribe to the charts. We'd love to have you be a part of that. And if you subscribe to gold packages or up, you can be part of our free Discord that has a VIP chat room that includes closed videos, much like you're listening to right now, where I dive very deeply and I give you insight into not only what I think, but what I'm doing. And so copy my homework if you like. We offer that at gold and platinum levels. All right, so back to the show. Yeah, and he does bring that up. Zach brings that up. So Roundtable is, and this is Chase's. Chase is our mastermind for Fibby charts. That's his deal. So he's got he's a very charitable case. 25-year-old. He's my son, so of course I'm biased, but probably one of the most intelligent, well-rounded individuals you'll ever meet at 25 years old. He's definitely not a he's a top secret security clearance drone team Air Force person. I'll just leave it at that, so not give out too much. So a tremendously cut above the rest young man. And one of his passions is he learns it from his father is to help other people, make the world a better place, leave the world cleaner than it was when you showed up, clean up your mess and help others clean up theirs. That's what I teach and I preach in my children, and now you're my children, and I do the same for you. As I teach my child, I like to pass on my wisdom to you guys. So Chase has created a new foundation. Not a foundation informal, but basically what I'm saying is he's got a mission to help feed the people that are down along the riverside that are homeless. I mean, stuff's bad right now, guys. And, these people during summertime are living in tents. And again, I've gone into this. I don't want to divert the show too much. But, it's summertime right now. And some of these people have children down along the, they're homeless. They've lost their apartments. They've got, and it's going to get worse, guys. And so his passion is to take what he does, he does very, very well for himself. He doesn't need the money from Fibby charts. He really doesn't need the money from Fibby charts. He wants to do good in the world. So what he does is we have these projects where we go and we meet people and we listen to their stories and we talk to them and we like, hey, what's going on, brother? Because that's the one thing that these people don't get. That are homeless. I mean, nobody wants to listen to them. Just get out, get the hell out. And they throw them out and these guys end up living in a tent, down by the river. And I'm not trying to be funny. I know you guys get the reference on that, but I'm not trying to be funny. It's a real thing. And so these guys are living in their cars. They're living in tents, and they got nothing. And nothing. I every day I go in to get my Diet Pepsi. I pass somebody standing outside of Casey's, and they got their hand out and they're just hoping for a little something, and everybody just walks right past them, just ghosts them. But we don't. We stop and we listen. And we talk to them. We add humanity to those people. And it's not something you get. When you're down and out, the world doesn't give a rat's ass about you, but we do. So we listen to those folks and we help where we can. So we like to buy food, and we've done just an obscene, to kind of let you guys know here. Zach brought this up. I'm going to put a point on this. I'm going to get back to the charts. I just want to share a little bit about who I am and what I do. Some of you guys that are new. So we've done about $7,000 in food orders on Amazon delivered, and we're dropping those cases down to these folks. So what we do is literally your money comes in on these projects. We go straight to Amazon or Hy-Vee or wherever we buy, and we take that and we go directly. There is no money, no middleman. There is no charitable foundation. I don't keep a damn dime of it. I don't want that money. And so the roundtable projects, the July project and the August project, 100% of that money goes to this foundation or to this cause. And when this one, and it's going to be a bigger cause, there's always a mouth to feed, there's always a person to help. I mean, there's a lot of lost souls, and it's going to get magnified in the next 90 days, horrifically magnified. So I hope, we can't save them all, but we're going to do our damnedest to, get a piece of every single one of them. Make their day at least one day better, okay? So let's get back to the business at hand here. So I'm sorry I diverted a little bit, so you just kind of have to tolerate me one time and when I get on my storytelling. You guys are missing the good old days of me telling stories, so we'll get back to that someday. I'm a world traveler. I go all over. I've got 1,000 stories to tell. So my old schoolers like my stories. It's been a while since we've done any of those, but just kind of how I am. I like to kind of keep it interesting. So, all right. So let's go ahead. So Theta, in the short term here, basically what we're looking at is Theta might just be next in line. But if it's not, no big deal. If you want to take a position on it, you're not going to get hurt. You're not going to get hurt. You cannot buy the bottom. So if you want to take a position on this, I'm not going to dissuade you. I don't think it's the sexiest purchase you probably could. You could hang out and wait till the bottom. But if maybe you have it in your heart you want to buy this and maybe get this pump and then sell out and wait for the drop, If you want to do that, the worst that can happen to you is it goes south. Okay, you're holding it until it turns around, and it will turn around. Okay, so that's the point I want to make with Theta. But you have a probability of this possibly going up. So, And we'll know probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. If it don't happen by then, you might be hanging on to Theta for a little while. So just want you guys to be aware of that. All right, so Populous. All right, so this is where we're at with this. Let's zoom right on in there. All right. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember what it was I was doing on this. So I had been watching Populous for a while, and we got into this sideways thing, and it started to kind of go up a little bit. I mean, we have a very defined kind of, I wouldn't call that a rounding bottom. I wouldn't call it a V. I wouldn't call it anything like that. But I want to say, I can't remember when this, I'd have to go back and look. So from here about, let's just say about 18, well, I'm going to say probably around about, let's just say about basically 20 hours ago. 20 hours ago, we'll go with that. So about 20 hours ago, right about here, I told everybody, back to the popcorn theory, we're seeing some of these early ones start to light up. I said, if you guys would go back in the chat, you guys who in Platinum, do remember, Platinum and Diamond do remember and can see a copy of this that I did. I told everybody, actually as a matter of fact, I want to kind of testify to what, the reality of this, because I know there's just so many doubters to the authenticity. When somebody makes a claim that I called it, you want, prove it. I want to show you something time stamped here. So, not that I need to do this, but it's kind of always fun to be able to kind of show and demonstrate this. So hang on just a second here. All right, there it is, right there. Okay, so this is when we were in this formation. So I'll read this for you guys that are on the phone. My gut is telling me Populous is going to have its shot. Those of you who have seen what this thing does will kick yourself when it moves. Oh, how right I was. Sleepers, wake up running. I don't mince words, guys. When I have something I want you to know, I put it all caps and I scream it at you. I am not a shrinking violet. When I have something I want you to know, I'm going to make damn sure you know it. Okay, so that's one promise that you get from me. These things are popping all over. My feeling is one of these is going to do it big time. Not making a suggestion, we always got to get this disclaimer, but in my mind, the price is not something I would be ashamed to hold, just like what we talked about with Theta just a minute ago. Okay, there's the call. Timestamped, if you guys get onto, you have to get onto the Discord to be able to see it, but it is timestamped, and you guys can go back and see this. About 20 hours ago, I posted this. That was when we were right here. I'm sorry, right here. Now, that doesn't look like much of a move, but let me tell you what. Let's put tape on and see what it really was. From there to there, 13.9% within 24 hours of my call. 13%. Boom, 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 just like that. This is what we call the unfair advantage. If you understand what it is you're looking at, you understand the grids, you understand the markers, you understand how the markets move, you can make calls like this. It's almost like having a second sight. It literally is the unfair advantage. We have the pulse markers, and I can tell you right now, I saw all this stuff coming in the Bollinger Bands. I saw the compression right here. I saw it was tightening up. I saw how this stuff was just starting to look like it was going to start to pop. I mean, just plug A plus B plus C equals yeehaw, off to the races. So, and that's exactly what we did. So there you go. Proven and proven. So haters be damned, trolls shrink and run, but the truth is going to set you free. There it is right there in black and white. You can't deny it because it's time-stamped and proven. All right, so let's take a look at new stuff. What do we see here? So you want me to do Zill. I'll go back and do Zill. Zill, haven't really, it's just been nuts lately, guys. I really haven't done a traditional run through these things. Usually what we'll do on live stream is we'll go through these things case by case, bit by bit, but it's been such a shit show that there really just hasn't been anything to say because we've been kind of waiting and watching for the bottom. So, Zach, was that you that was asking about Zill, brother? Because I tell you what, this is played out. I don't even have to put a tape to it to tell you. So that's that double bottom that we're looking at, or that W formation. It's played out. It's done. So we've kind of got, there was the top. I wasn't tracking this, but this basically did identical the same exact maneuver that all the other ones did. So went through a double bottom. There's the depth of the bottom. You stack it on top. There it is right there, running 50%. They turned it, dropped it down. Let me talk that a little bit for you guys. So there's the run. Whoops, excuse me. There's the basic run right there. And then you take that and you stack it on top. And I'm being very loose with my interpretation here because I'm using squiggles. But you stack it on top of the rim, which is right there. That's where it should have terminated, right there. But it didn't. They ran it 50%, and they turned it, and they dropped it. We're seeing this all the way across the market, universally. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep moving. It's all completely random. Trust me. So ZIL is in the same basket as everything else that shares this formation. What are we doing? We don't know. We're waiting. Again, this is very much like XLM. I'm not putting my money on this. I don't believe in it. I think it's too hairy, too scary. I'm not in a position. I'm not going to be goaded into a position. I'm not going to be forced to do something just because I'm getting trade sickness and I have to be trading something. And so there's going to be another fish that's going to swim up to the boat. You don't have to dive in and start flailing around to grab them. They'll swim up to the boat. So just chill out, okay? So let's see, what else can we talk about here? So Quant. Anybody a Quant holder? We haven't really discussed Quant publicly. So Quant that's an interesting one. I put Quant on I don't know how long ago. It's been a while. I put Quant on, and there's sleepers wake up running. It just happens that way. So I'm not going to tell you that I was tracking this because I put it on there. I just hadn't had time to get it. So it's now starting to run. Now, we'll give you a little test taste of this. This is another thing. Quant is another thing we are going to discuss in the next Crypto Roundtable because this one's going to be a powerful addition to the world economic stage. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So Quant is not some coin you never heard of. Maybe you'll buy, maybe you won't. You want to pay attention and do your homework on Quant because it is something special, something very special. If you guys understand, you guys know who I hate his delivery. The guy's like nails on a chalkboard listening to him. I know I'm not anything great, but the Bearable Bull, he's got this very odd vocal delivery that he does. Everything sounds like doom and gloom. It's just it's strange. But the guy's TA is very good. I do respect his work. He's another person that's very, very bullish. The Bearable Bull is very, very bullish on this, and he's calling for some pretty insane highs on this, and I concur with this. I'm going to start putting Quant on my radar, but unless and until, here it is again. I told you guys roughly where we should be, but did we get there? We went 50%, and we dropped. So this is over and over and over and over again. They're building hope. They're building you up to take your hope away. So where are we going to go? We just don't know where this is going to play out yet. Again, I'm going to be out of this market until this thing makes a very definable move. Now, on my shopping list will be Quant because I like Quant. Quant I put in the same arena as XRP, as XLM, as XDC. JB, what is it? I can't read your JBMXer. Am I wrong? He's got kind of a rather strange vocal output, or what I want to say. Just his delivery is a little strange, but his methodology is very solid. I won't. Everybody's got their little unique way of speaking, but he always sounds like he's trying to predict the end of the world with every sentence. It's just kind of strange to listen to. It gets kind of hard to listen to for me after about 15 minutes. So, but I do listen to him once in a while. Okay, so Quant is on my shopping list. I like Quant, so we're going to be moving Quant to the forefront of discussions that we have in gold and platinum and VIP, so look for more of that. If you guys are not in the VIP and you are interested in this, then you should be. You should be. So I'm just going to kind of put that out there just to let you guys do your homework on that, okay? So a couple other things. So we already talked about Reef here. So a couple other things I want to get. VeChain, I think we better cover VeChain. So let's do a few here. I'm going to cut you loose here. I've got some. Want to go check on my girlfriend and see if I have a girlfriend left. I'm being funny. I'm putting on a brave face, but right now, guys, I'm a wreck inside. So not a good day. Not a good day at the Red Baron house. So Okay. So this is a target call, and this is a theory call. When we were down here, I think I did this about 3 days ago. We were down in this area. I told you, yeah, it was. When we were down here, I said, yeah, we're gonna get up into this target, and we're here. We made it just a little bit, but we did make it inside of the zone. So where are we going from here? Well, this is, and I made this point with Joe, and I'll make it again because it's very validated. You cannot get this much run without getting a pullback. I mean, it just does not happen. We've got from stem to stern here, we've got 18 and a half days. Well, hell, let's make it 19. We've got 19 days straight up, guys. Is anybody getting nervous? Because I sure the hell am. 19 days straight up, almost, 3/4, almost a month straight up. Does that smell right to any of you guys that understand what should be happening here? Now, again, I interject. A couple days from now, we've got something, air quotes, that's going to be happening. Could that possibly be the thing that sends this thing down into the pit of hell, or at least to a reasonable pullback? Could that be? I think A plus B equals C. That's what I think. All right, so, am I buying VeChain? Chase, our technical guy, huge VeChain buyer, loves VeChain. He bought in on his first bag, I'm going to say about 2 cents or something like that, stopped buying at 10. And here we are at 10.5, but even he's not buying more. He's got power sick of me. He's like, no. He's like, no, he knows how to read these charts just as well as I do. And so he's like, no. So our consensus, both of, I don't often talk about his consensus, but right in this general zone, I'm showing you the floor right here and the ceiling right here. This is a reasonable pullback. And I don't mean the crash. I mean like point of order, doing business, kind of thing. Let's go ahead and make that a little more official box. Just the course of business. I see this being a reasonable area of support or resistance, as the case may be. So let's go ahead and make that. Let's make that orange just for the hell of it. Okay. Lost my train of thought here. Hold on just a second. I think I'm going to revise this just a little bit because I'm seeing something off screen here that gives me a little bit more information to work with here. So I have 6 36-inch monitors. Just sometimes if I sound like I'm lost in my conversations because I'm trying to read 6 gigantic monitors that are sitting 2 feet away from my face. So it's quite overwhelming the amount of information that I have in front of me at the time I do broadcast. Plus, I'm trying to keep the live stream running and make sure I'm not just talking to myself like I do the other 23 hours of the day. All right, so where we're at here is a reasonable pullback. These boxes, I think I need to explain to some of you guys that are new. What do these boxes mean? It means 3 things. When you see a box like this, there are 3 points to a box that I want to make you aware. How boxes play out on my charts are like this, on all charts really that people use boxes. This is how they play out. There's a top, there's an internal, and there's a bottom. They play in 3 separate playouts, or in 3 separate motions, as it were. So let's go ahead and use the thing. So if we're coming down, we're going to hit the top of the box, possibly do something, and then we're going to get in the box, and we're going to do something, and then we're going to eventually capitulate and go out of the box. So we have 1 place, 2 place, 3 places that we have on a box. So when you see a box, don't assume, we never got into the box. Yes, if we touch the box, that's the point. If we, on some of these things, if we come down and we just strike the top of the box, like go back and look at Doge. If we hit, coming from the inside, we hit the top of the box right there, that's there on purpose. That top of the box represents the top of the prescribed, predicted area, okay? So I want you guys to always understand that when you see a box, don't take box as being a generalized thing. There's some very important components to that. There's the top, there's the internal, and sometimes there's an AI line running through the middle of it, which you see here. But there's also a bottom. So you got top, internal, ping pong, and then bottom to get out. So when we hit it, when we get in it, when we leave it, are 3 different stages that you want to be concerned with. Okay, so back to VeChain. Let's go ahead and change up colors here because I don't like gray when I'm talking illustrations here. So let's make that white. All right. right. So if we are to fall to the bottom of this channel and just things, we get a change in the force, we go for a little while longer. I'm not saying we might not go up a little bit higher, but let's, for the sake of discussion, let's assume we go sideways on this. Now, when this thing finally does hit this, this could be it for this couple days thing. I don't quite see that being the end of the narrative. Could go a little bit further. That I would probably see. So let's take a look percentage-wise, pull the tape on that. Where would we be roughly from here to there? Well, that would be a 31.69% drop to the bottom of that. It would be a 27 to the AI line from the bottom to the top of the box would be 20. 20 is kind of doing business range. You start to get, ooh, that was kind of a drop. I think you got some heavy duty resistance right here. So I think it's going to be a bit of a test at the top of this box. So I would not expect that this thing would hit the box and immediately drop right in and penetrate it. It's going to take a couple of taps on that box before the glass floor breaks and it falls in. Okay, so be understanding of the fact that when we hit this, we could dead cat bounce up to the next AI line, ping pong between the AI line and the box top, and then finally after the second or third test, capitulate and drop on in. But if once we do dip into the box, you can pretty well bet we're going to be on our way to the next AI line and probably lower. So watch those next 2 days to be the day that might happen. I do not, I can tell you categorically with inside of this chart only, I see 50, what is it, how many days did I say that was? I see, yeah, 19 days in a row. Are we going up on VeChain? Hell no. Hell no. I wouldn't look at this thing in 19 days and put any amount of money on this thing going higher. That's ridiculous. If it does, okay, chastise me, but I bet it doesn't hold ground. It has to pull back. You just don't get 19 days in a row straight up 45 degrees that you don't get a pullback. It has to happen. Okay, so not to belabor that too much more. I just want to, I really like to drive these points home because a lot of you guys, some of you guys don't listen because I miss that. I want to make sure you don't miss some of these concepts. That's why I repeat myself. I'm catching the chat. Could you elaborate? I think there's some new charges being brought against them. Would you be referring to VeChain? I'm not following. I'm kind of in my own little world here as I'm chatting. Would you be referring to VeChain, Phil? I assume you are. Or are you talking about USDC? Sounds like you're talking about USDC. Okay, yeah, you're talking about USDC. Sorry, because there's nothing bad going on with VeChain for you guys that are not following the conversation on the side there. Yeah, that's what I thought you. Yeah, Tether. I saw this question. I'll go ahead and address this. I'm not by any expert at all. I'll own up to this. I am not your Tether boy. I'm not somebody. I've had a few of you ask me, "What do you think about Tether?" Well, I think it's a coin. No, seriously, you would be better deferring that in the public chat. Don't DM him. He's got a lot of stuff to do. You'd be better deferring that technical coin question to Red Bear in the public chat or the appropriate room on unfairadvantage.chat and ask some of our more knowledgeable technical people such as Red Bear what he thinks of that, and he'll give you the download. That's what he's there for. That's what he wants to do, or he likes to do. So my 2 cents or 3 cents worth on that is Domain and I have had a lot of talks. Domain is one of our lead moderators. He's in the chat here. He goes by Words from My Father. He goes by some other ones. We've talked about this, and I think it's good theater to hear about the possibility of Tether going under. But some of the shifty crap that they've done. If you tried to do it, do you think you would be breathing the air of freedom on the other side of the bars, or do you think they'd be locking your ass up and throwing away the key? I think you know the answer. So there's somebody who's allowing this, blessing it, and promoting it, and they are protected. So my 2 cents is are they going away? No, but they are a useful idiot if you take it to the very bare common denominator. I mean, they're good for the FUD. They're great for the FUD. Oh my God, be afraid of this. Ooh, boogeyman, boogeyman. And everybody runs the other direction, like I talked about on Snip's show. If what you do, this is the powers that be like to do. They like to get all the cattle heading in one direction, spook them and scare them in a direction, and then run them down the chute into something else, and then boom, they got them again, and then boom, they got them again, and again, and again, and again. So Tether can be, although it is a piece of shit coin, let's be honest with each other. I mean, there's nothing moral or ethical about what they are, but you can say that about the US dollar too. So will it go away? That's above any of our pay grades. But let's simply just look at this from the facts that be. Could you get this far? Like I said earlier, could you get this far if you tried that crap yourself? You wouldn't even get out of the chute. So there are some very powerful people behind and on the board of Tether, the creators and owners and manipulators of Tether, and that's not by mistake. Those are the part of the people that create your reality. So that is there for a reason. The narrative might be to pit USDC against Tether in good guy, bad guy fashion. We don't know. But don't take anything at face value. Now, to answer the question, or to try to attempt to answer the question, will it go away? Feeling is no. If it goes away, and this is as far as, and again, this is another one of those discussions we can have within the next crypto roundtable that's going to be happening here this week. If it were to go away, the question is, one must ask themselves, is to be replaced by what? To be replaced by what? What is option number 2? USDC is number 2. To be replaced by what? Anybody else got anything else that's in number 2 position? USDC is number 2. And it's a small portion of Tether. So there is no brand X up against brand Y. Or to be more, there is no Pepsi up against Coke being Tether. Okay, there just isn't, and so there would be a gigantic hole. And I'm not saying there couldn't be, but they're putting all this work suing Ripple, which by comparison hasn't even sneezed incorrectly without using a tissue, compared to what Tether's doing. And the SEC isn't saying anything. There's rumors that they're saying it, but we haven't seen anybody hauled into court and made to explain themselves, have we? What we've heard is rumors of war and rumors of war. We've heard of rumors of war, but we haven't heard of any actual war against Tether yet by the SEC. So that being said, nonetheless, there's just a little more FUD out there just to freak the market out, because that translates to positions such as Bitcoin and people who trade with it. I mean, seeing it in our own Discord. Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Indecision, fear, worry, and it's a stacking effect. Get them worried about XRP, get them worried about Tether, get them worried about new regulation, get them worried about this, get them worried, and it stagnates the market, hurts growth, hurts this industry. And why in God's name would somebody want to do that? I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But what I will simply say is this: I like to always apply logic to the things that I see. I don't take anything at face value. What I would say is Tether is not going anywhere right now. Certainly not this week. If they replace it, they might just come out with new Coke. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys that are older, it does the same thing. Everybody's going, well, I don't really like new Coke. Could you bring old Coke back? And they'll come back with Tether 2.0. Or they'll change the board. Oh, we got rid of that other guy. We don't like him. So yeah, this is an all, new and improved, under new management kind of thing. There's a lot of games that these guys play, but, it's the same playbook. So on the surface, on the whole, I'm simply going to say this. I would not hold any of your money with any false sense of security in any of these quote unquote stable coins, because there's no such thing, kids. There's no such thing. Go back and listen to Red Bear and I discuss on Crypto Chat. I can't remember which one it was we were discussing, but we did discuss the concept of stable coins a little bit, and maybe we'll probably get into a deeper dive on that here possibly. But what you must understand is this, a core question. There is a third party. It is not, stablecoins really inherently, looking at them from what is a crypto, it checks these certain boxes. Stablecoins are not a crypto, pure and simple, because there's a third party involved. There's third party risk. It's tied to something. So anytime there's third party intervention, you got problems. So you're selling off, some ERC20 coin, and you're holding it in stable, waiting for the drop. That's a scary thing. It just there's no right or wrong place to store your money that's any better or trustworthy. We talked about this a little bit on Snip's broadcast last night about how I was telling you got to get positioned for the market for when this thing happens, because you don't want to go through those 7 or 8 things that I allocated. Is the internet going to work? Is the power going to work? Is your phone going to work? Is Google going to work? Is Exchange going to? You got so we're gonna recover that concept in the upcoming roundtable. But or do you have it in stable coins? Blah blah blah. Stablecoins make me very nervous, guys. I'll just tell you that. I'm not a big fan of it because, originally when they were created, I'll get on this point and then we'll get on to, whatever's left of the broadcast tonight. I think I've spewed enough knowledge for one night. There's this. Stablecoins, to me, don't represent what they used to represent. And, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean this. There has been some tax changes. I'm speaking from an American perspective, but pick a country. I'm sure it's all pretty much the same. There has been a change in the way they view the transfer of coins. So what do I mean? I mean this. So if we go from, let's say we got Bitcoin, and let's go ahead. Let's say we got Ethereum, and we want to buy Reef. Okay, so we buy Ethereum. All right, we own Ethereum, and we think Ethereum is going to go up, and Ethereum does go up. Oh my God, I just made 10% on my Ethereum. Let's throw that bad boy over into stablecoin and lock in our profits. Okay, you did that. Now you got a first of all, let's forget about all the obnoxious fees that are part of that stupid ass transaction. That's another thing too. Gas it's annoying. I hate ERC20 coins. So, but anyway, and all stable coins are that. That's another little bitch that I have. Nothing comes easy or cheap or free in crypto. So anyway, you move it over into stablecoin. So there's that, and then you want to buy something else. So you've got transfer fees from one coin to another coin to another coin, whatever. But you've also got a tax event. So take the I'm gonna sidestep the stablecoin out of this conversation, but it is illustrating my point a little bit. So if you want to go from Bitcoin to, Bitcoin to Digibyte, I'll just pick a couple. If you want to go from Bitcoin to Digibyte now, that's a taxable event. Didn't used to be. Now they're like, oh, no. Yeah, you changed something. We want some money. And that's the way that they're doing it now. So stablecoins are part of that because you used to keep things in stablecoins to kind of, let's be honest, it was kind of tax dodge. Let's be honest. If you didn't think of it that way, I did because I'm working with people who have a lot more money than you probably are used to seeing. It's not a tax dodge anymore. It's just not. And then you got third party risk that's attached to it and everything else, and it's just So with the gas fees and then the indecision and the third, it's not a panacea. So what do I mean by all this? So I'm really of the mind to just go back into fiat and then back into something else. So if I'm sidestepping a trade, for example, what I just did here with XLM, if I'm getting out of XLM because I had to go to the hospital and see my girlfriend, I sold into cash. Okay, so in cash now, I sit. And so, I'm not in a stable coin. And so therefore, I've already saved myself all those ERC20. I can cash it back to an exchange and take it and go buy some Diet Pepsi or whatever I want to do with it. Probably, realistically, I'm going to end up paying some hospital bills to be seriously, to give you a little insight into my world, I'm probably going to be the one footing the bill for all this because nobody has insurance on either side of the table. So I'm probably going to be the one that's putting a Band-Aid on this very ugly situation that played out tonight with my girl. So that's the point on that. But anyway, we get into cash, then we move back and forth to cash. It's a taxable event. So the risk that's inherent with stable coins doesn't turn me on to begin with. So then you start adding all the other little side news to Tether. I don't see the advantage of Tether at all. I just don't. Because a lot of you guys are very paranoid about what if the exchanges go down? Would it matter one iota if it went down with cash or crypto in their clutches? Would it really, honestly? Let's talk turkey here. Would it make any difference if pick an exchange? We'll just say Coinbase. Apparently they're insured. Okay, great, whatever. But let's assume all hell breaks loose. There's a run on the cryptos and they go insolvent. And thank you, we're done. Whether they're holding your cash or whether they're holding your Tether, and they do take Tether now, doesn't matter. You ain't getting it back easily. So does it really matter? Where was the advantage to be had for you? Follow what I'm saying? Now, the only advantage you would have is if you wanted to use that to buy something like Reef or whatever. So that's the only spot that I'll give you on that. All right, so you guys got any questions here? I think I'm going to wrap it up. It's getting to be 11:30. They probably won't even let me in the hospital at this point in time because I think closing hours are about 10 o'clock. But going to make some phone calls, going to see if I have a girlfriend left here, and I say that jokingly. But some of you guys, by the way, who have been asking, I want to follow up publicly with this. Not something I like to talk about publicly, but on the broadcast, I edited it out because I had a very tender moment at the start of the last crypto roundtable. We talked about my next door neighbor, Dave. Have not had an update on Dave. Dave is a very dear friend of mine. Just got into crypto. Lives next door to me, and he, the virus, the thing has hit home. My next door neighbor is on his last breath. He's been put on a respirator. He was healthy. He disappeared. I hadn't seen him for 2-3 days. His wife tells me he's bedridden. He's in the hospital. He is a anti-stabber, if you know what I mean by that. Ardent anti. You will not stick anything in me. So he got the real deal. He's on, and this is not, it's probably something else. No, he's got it. He's got the real deal. And so as I came home tonight after seeing my girlfriend, there is a suspicious number of cars parked in his driveway, and it is very dark, or not very dark, but the curtains are closed, and my gut is rarely wrong. So I think we've lost Dave. So with that, guys, have a good night. Okay, talk to you tomorrow.